What's good, people? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, so Eddie Hearn a few hours ago confirmed that Anthony CROLLA will travel to America to take on the pound for pound or recognized pound for pound #1 VASYL Lomachenko. Their fight will take place at the Staples Center. I think it's April the 13th. So Anthony CROLLA does get his wish. He does get to take on the pound for pound #1. He does get that big dream fight in America. Now, Top Rank initially did want to do Richard Comey, the new IBF champion, versus VASYL Lomachenko, but Richard Comey injured, I think it was his right hand in his previous fight, so that fight's off and they've gone to their second choice, which is Anthony CROLLA. Remember, this is a unification fight. This is the WBA and WBO belts on the line. Straight off the bat though, and I'm going to sound like a cock here, Anthony CROLLA has no chance winning this fight. I don't think I've ever said this on this channel. If I have, it's rare, very rare, but he has no chance. Like, I can't think of a unification fight, and this is a unification fight, people, where I've actually given the opposite guy no chance. He has no chance. Nothing. There's nothing in his arsenal that he has that is better than what Loma has. Even he's famed for his work rate, and he has a great work rate. Loma would outwork him all day. Outwork him, out-hustle him, out-box him, out-punch him, out-skill him, out-everything him. There is absolutely no way he wins this fight. The only way he wins this fight, and again, I hate being a cop like this, but I'm just being honest, this is what the channel's about. The only way he wins this fight is if Loma has some sort of freak accident in the ring. That's it. That's it. Because he doesn't have the pop. He's got skill, but again, we're talking about arguably the skillfulest fighter I think I've seen since a young Floyd. So he doesn't have a chance. He really doesn't have a chance. And you know what? As much as I'm saying that, I've got to give credit to CROLLA. Because I think CROLLA, almost like Tony Bellew, who's almost overachieved. Honestly, I think he's overachieved. If you go and look at CROLLA's record, I think he's, what, 6 or 7 losses? It could be more than that, actually. I think 6 or 7 losses. And I never thought he would get to this stage. I never thought he'd be a world champion. I never thought he'd be fighting Lomachenko in a unification fight at the Staples Center. So I can discredit him by saying I don't think he's got a chance, which is not discrediting him. It's almost because I'm giving so much credit to Loma. But the fact he's actually got there is just astonishing. So, look, you've got to applaud the fact that he's got there. And I think when it's all said and done, got to give credit to CROLLA. You've got to give credit to CROLLA. And I like him, but I just think this is a step too far. You know what it is? If this fight was in the MEN arena, with 20,000 Manx behind him, almost like a Ricky Hatton Costa Zoo where they give you a bit more energy, I still would give him no chance, but I'd give him a better chance than the chance I'm giving him now. But it's not. He's at the Staples Center. Will the Brits travel for him? Will they make it sound like Manchester? Probably not. So that's a shame, right? If you're going to have that kind of fight against that kind of opposition, yes, I know you want to live this American dream and have that big fight almost like Rocky Fielding, but it would have been good for it to be at the MEN arena. And this is where I don't get the economics of boxing. I know that in America, it's completely opposite from the UK. So America don't necessarily rely on ticket sales. They get money from TV revenue. Whereas in the UK, I mean, Eddie Hearn said this actually recently, that they don't get so much money from TV, which is why they really do push the ticket sales, which is why they put on fighters that maybe aren't great fighters, but sell tickets, right? Like Masha Dodd, for example. So, I still, though, in saying that, think that surely the fight would have made more money in the UK. I don't know why. I just feel like 22,000, 20,000 in the MEN arena, it would have been sold out immediately, let's be honest. Loma coming to town, I think, would have sold it out. And I know people don't like hearing this 3-letter word, but it could have gone on pay-per-view, PPV. I mean, Loma versus CROLLA, unification. We don't know what's going on with Donald Brazil versus Dillian White. So all the thoughts of those guys could have been chucked onto the undercard. So that we know that Dave Allen's fighting Lucas Brown, chucked that on the undercard. There's talks about Parker versus Chisora, chucked that on the undercard, even though that fight probably ain't going to happen right now. But I think you could have stacked the undercard and put it on pay-per-view. So I feel like this fight might have generated more money being in the UK, MEN arena, pay-per-view, than the Staples Center. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. But for Loma, this will be his second fight back after the shoulder surgery. I do think he came back too quick against Pedraza. This is probably the time he should have come back. So I think he's going to be fully fit. I think he's going to be firing in all cylinders. And I think Richard Comey would have been a better opponent. Someone long and rangy like Richard Comey would have been better. I think someone short and squat like CROLLA is just made for him. It's just made for him. Hopefully for Loma, if he does come through this one, which I think he'll come through comfortably, he does get that Comey fight. So if he comes through this in April, he's probably going to have a Comey fight in September maybe. And then, I mean, they've got to try and make that Gervonta Davis fight. It's the only fight that really interests me for Loma now that Mikey Garcia's gone to 147 pounds. I'm not that interested in anything else. With Mayweather promoting Gervonta Davis, the chance of Gervonta Davis fighting Lomachenko 2019, even 2020 are slim to none. It's more likely 2023 or 2024, but that's the fight I want to see for Loma. But look, it is a unification fight. His next fight after this, because he will beat CROLLA, will be a unification fight against Richard Comey. And credit to him, he's cleaning up the lightweight division. He's cleaning up the lightweight division. Will he go to 140 pounds? Probably not. There always will be contenders. One other dark horse contender who could be an option for late 2019 and who's actually called Lomachenko out was Teofimo Lopez, everyone's prospect of the year for 2018. He said he wanted this fight now. He's not ready now, but there is something special about him. He's very, very big at the weight. He's making noise, so watch that space. So if Loma does come through CROLLA, which he will, if he does come through Richard Comey, don't be shocked if Lopez steps up, just because we are seeing right now a lack of contenders at the lightweight division. What do you guys think? CROLLA versus VASYL Lomachenko. Am I being too harsh? Do you give him a chance? I don't give him no chance. But do you give him a chance? If you do, why? Let me know. Peace.